Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Never Open Podcast, the podcast open to everyone, especially David Lynch. Rest in peace. My name is Luke. I'm your host of the Never Open... Man, I'm so bummed out by David Lynch. My name is Luke. I am your host of the Never Open Podcast, and with me, as always, is Mr. Andy. Hello, Mr. Andy.
Hello, Mr. Andy. And hello, Luke. Hello to the listeners, and goodbye to David Lynch. One of my favorites, man. I'm not okay with that. Not okay.
No. I didn't like everything he made, but I found everything he made interesting and hard to look away from, I guess. So, I've watched it all as well. So he did his job, right? Like he provided me hours of entertainment and stuff that, whether I liked it or not, provided me with hours of conversation as well. Because I've got a lot of movie-loving friends who love David Lynch, maybe a little too much like you do. And they're fun to engage with too, because, whether you like his movies or not, there's lots to talk about.
He has a concept that it's hard to explain, but he says he gets his ideas from the deep part of the ocean. You know what I mean? He's not fishing for what's on top or anywhere close, the deep, deep part. And so what he finds down there are things that touch your subconscious in a way that a dream does, where you think, I've been here before. I'm having deja vu, but it's not deja vu. It's not that I've been here before. It's just that feeling. And that's how his stuff always hits me, is it's not that I've seen it before, but it gives me deja vu as a feeling. And he can just do that with scenes. And it's like, what? It's amazing.
Yeah, this dude is in a deeper part of the ocean than James Cameron's submersibles can traverse. That's for sure.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, it's one of those things that, for once, I didn't wake up to it. Usually, everyone, I often wake up before my morning coffee to, well, not often. It's not like
gotta mention the coffee.
I love is drop. Yeah, gotta mention my coffee. It's bummed out. You're starting your day, and you're like, oh, shit. But I've been awake for a couple of hours this morning and I had my coffee. So it was kind of like, it still hit me, but I was just like, all right, now I'm not in that foul pre-coffee phase,
But you're usually waking up to it because of the just cycle of what time you're asleep and what time I'm awake and all that kind of stuff. So I've, had the treat to tell you many times that someone's passed away that you love, unfortunately. But this time you got to tell me. So, memory will be forever associated with you. You
both
took
ways
David Lynch
suck,
away
man.
from me.
Both ways suck. Oh my God. Yeah, but you got to find out somehow. Find out.
I'd rather hear it from someone I love than someone like
that's right.
The internet.
Ugh. It rips the Band-Aid off, doesn't it? It does.
It's true.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So what is your favorite David Lynch something?
I like all of the original Twin Peaks, but maybe like that first season and then all the way up to the start of season 2 where they reveal who the killer is and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that's some of the best TV ever made, period, full stop, hands down.
No doubt.
And I like what follows, but it never quite captures that magic again. It's really hard, man. Some of that was just lightning in a bottle. Hey, that dude from the set's in the frame. Don't worry about that. He's now the fucking big bad of the of the thing in a way. So
meaning the story about how Bob was cast. Bob was a staff member that accidentally was in the back of the frame, and David Lynch was like, "Fuck," It's not that he didn't know what the story was going to be, but he let the story and the shows form themselves in this cool way. And so things are always, it's not that he's just always improvising, but improvising is welcome. And so these kinds of things will happen, these organic things, and he's going to listen. He's in tune with that,
That's a blooper right there. This dude's in the frame. And then he looked at it and he's just like, oh, I'm going to make you an icon forever.
Yeah.
Somehow, his face, to me, represents one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen
Have you seen
ever.
this man? That poster too. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Man, I love Twin
My
Peaks.
dad watched that when I was a kid, and I didn't understand it, but I do remember his face freaking me out. So when I went back and watched it when I was like a teenager, I remember that, and just the credits. Every credit roll would just kind of freak me out because
Yeah.
it's just Laura Palmer's face and the saddest fucking music you've ever heard in your
It's
life.
it's so
And Dad's like, "All right, Luke, bedtime." I'm like, "Okay." Fucking owls, man! I hate owls because of Twin Peaks.
Oh, but it's also a soap opera, and that was like the ending of a soap
Yeah.
opera, only scary as fuck in that way that only David Lynch can be scary. There's a movie called Wild at Heart, and Wild at Heart's one of his like
Okay.
most normal movies. It's weird, but it's definitely like I think it might have been one of his more successful ones because it's more straightforward. And
Yeah.
there is a house where something bad happened. And I don't know if we ever even find out what bad happened there or who was even involved, but they'll show this house and it's fucking terrifying. It's like the Palmer's front door. It's terrifying. And I don't know why. I have no idea why. It's just like it's like the scene in Mulholland Drive behind Winkies. Like the guy has the dream about the monster behind Winkies. That scares the fuck out of me. I mean, it scares me so much that I don't like to watch it unless I'm in a certain mood. See, episode 8 or 9 or whatever it is of The Return, that whole episode gives me that feeling like I'm crawling out of my skin, but in a good way. And I watched that, in the dark, on like, and for the first time when I watched that, man, it's so awesome. I love David Lynch, man. Love him. Sad he's gone.
Yeah,
That's
I
sad.
remember rewatching some Star Trek: Next Generation, and Ray Wise turned up, and I said to myself, if he starts singing and dancing, I'm turning this off because that's gonna fucking creep me out big time. Because that really tied into his reveal as
Oh
well.
man, there's a scene in Twin Peaks where the one-armed man pulls up to Laura and her dad, and he knows what's going on, and he's trying to scream at her, and she smells the motor oil, which they always smell when there's some kind of like lodge entity near, and she smells the motor oil, and he's screaming. Her dad is screaming and honking the horn and revving the engine so loud that it's burning the oil, and the car is like overheating, and it is fucking terrifying. It is one of the most like it's just like stuff like that. And I'm not even a horror fan, but I like his brand of horror, his like existential, like I don't know what else to call it, but it's like it's some of the best shit ever. I'm sad
Because he mixes it a lot of the time with the mundane as well, and we can relate to hanging out at a diner or going for a walk in the forest with friends or all this kind of stuff, or being a bit rebellious as a teenager or being, all this kind of stuff. So he's awesome at always mixing the mundane with the fucking terrifying.
That's true. But not like that's something Stephen King's famous for too, right? But he does it in a different way. That's like, totally different. I mean that the opening scene to Blue Velvet where you see the whole like town and everybody's happy, and then they get down to the grass level and you just see insects and they're climbing around on an ear. And it's like, oh my god, it's awesome. Love it.
Yes, there was a truck, and now there's an airplane going by. It's all happening down here in Australia.
I didn't hear. I was listening to what I was saying.
But no, see, it's what sucks about when someone you like or at least respect dies. It's like happened to me with David Warner. I just wanted to go back and rewatch or watch for the first time a whole bunch of his films again. And now that David Lynch is gone, so you've just reminded me I want to watch Wild at Heart and Blue Velvet big time.
Tremendous movies, man.
I love those movies too. Is that like Dennis Hopper with a fucking anything? Yeah, all right. Yeah, he's great in that.
So
is that kind of where his career kind of started picking up again? He started turning up everywhere.
Probably, yeah, probably.
Because he played crazy white dude a lot after that, and I think it comes from maybe Blue Velvet.
Oh, I don't know. He was crazy white dude before that. I mean, he's like famous for crazy white
dude.
Apocalypse Now. You know what I mean? That's his like crazy white dude. So it's kind of his deal. But man, he hates Heineken. He does not like Heineken. It's PBR. PBR. That's real beer. So fun.
PB, is that Pabst Blue Ribbon?
It is. And have you
That's
ever had
fucking
that?
terrible
Oh, it's
beer.
the worst beer ever. It's so
It's
bad.
fucking disgusting, man.
So
Like,
bad.
you know, it's bad, but I'm like, the American beer I'd rather be drinking is Budweiser or something.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Oh, or just pour it all out and start, drink something else. But
have some water.
yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine. Man, that's sad. I think, my favorite movie of his, I thank you for sharing your favorite thing. I think
Yeah,
my
what's yours?
favorite thing is Lost Highway. I love
I
Lost
love
Highway.
that
That
too.
was the first one that I really got what's going on. Now I watched Fire Walk with Me when it came out, and I remember watched it in my sister's room with this little combo TV VHS thing, and watched it on that, and it was fucking blew my mind, and I loved it. But I think I saw that after I saw Lost Highway somehow. I don't know. But Lost Highway is my first kind of other Lynch memory besides Twin Peaks, and it's everything that David Lynch is. It's the crazy, unreliable narrators. It's the switching bodies. It's also the hilarious scenes. Robert Loggia going nuts on some guy for tailgating him on Mulholland Drive. By the way, it's the same road. That shit is so fucking funny. And
dude, I still remember that dude tripping over or falling over, and his head just goes right into the glass table.
It's awesome.
With a sharp end.
It's awesome.
Awesome 9 Inch Nails song in that, and it's a great soundtrack too. Lost Highway.
It's true.
It's one of those really good 90s soundtracks. There's a lot of really good 90s soundtracks. I think Lost Highway is one of them.
If you had an emo friend in high school, he had that soundtrack. For sure. You're like a Marilyn Manson fan.
The perfect drug. Yeah, of course.
I love that movie, and I have it right over here. It is a DVD. It was not on DVD in America, for a long time because it just wasn't, and so I had to order that from France, and it's a terrible copy. It's just awful.
Surely that's on fucking pristine Blu-ray now, right?
I'm sure. That my Twin Peaks is on Blu-ray, so but there's another TV show there sitting there. You just let me know when you're ready to move on to that, because I can't wait to talk about that too. So.
What else? Spartacus.
Yeah.
You've
been watching it, right?
Yeah. So we're only a few episodes into it at the moment, but it's just been a busy last few days, I guess, because it's been Charity's birthday. We did the weekend before her birthday rather than the weekend after. So your birthday's on a Wednesday, I guess you got your pick a weekend, which one you're going to do all your birthday shit on. Sometimes you do both, yeah.
I think both for charity, always.
Yeah, well, she was happy with. Yeah, I don't know. If she's got any plans, it's fine. I'll go with it. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, we're only a couple episodes deep, but what really strikes me about it is how amazingly cheesy it is. It's cheesier than I remembered it, because I'm older now and I can kind of look back at something and think, all right, that's dated, but it's sprinkled in with some genuinely amazing character actors, like the guy playing Batiatus. You'll remember him, everyone, if you've seen Brendan Fraser's The Mummy. Yeah,
he's so good. It's not Liam.
Yeah, it's a good podcasting.
It's this guy, John Hannah. That's who it is. He's in The Mummy. Yeah. Most people know him from The Mummy, I think.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. He's like the bumbling nerd guy that comes with Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser. Yeah. So, but he's really good in this. He doesn't play kind of that bumbler. He's like this Roman games guy, scheming character dude who's married to Lucy Lawless, who's another great character actor as well. Awesome. So you'll have these like okay acting hot beefcake people, and they're really good at selling you how violent the show is, and that's their specialty. And then you've got sprinkled in that just amazing character actors that kind of make the show pop a little bit more, because it gives it a bit more of here's the slow-mo blood spurt, and now he's Batiatus, bargaining and maneuvering and all this kind of stuff, and it kind of keeps it grounded. So I like that kind of mix. Yeah, we got your beefcake guys who may not be the best actors, but they can fight, and that's all that matters. And then you've got your really good character actors that kind of like smooth everything out somehow, and it makes it work. That's my impression of it.
That's good. I agree with that 100%. I love how all of the Romans, every single one of them, they never say what they mean. Ever. At any point, every time they're flapping their gums, they are trying to scheme something like that. There's a character.
The game is the game, man.
It's so funny. There's a character named Solonius, right? And Solonius is like a rival Ludus owner. And like they always call him Good Solonius, which straight to his face. And they don't mean it.
They hate him. They hate his guts. It's their rival.
Every time Lucy Lawless, Good Solonius, I'm just like, oh my god. And he's got a crush on her, and there's all this scandalous shit that goes on. And I love that. I love how every bad guy, this is how they enter the scene. Okay, it goes like this. They go, apologies. Because they're interrupting. And everybody, like if you count the amount of times somebody goes, apologies, as they enter a room, it's just like it's every scene.
Don't play that
every
game.
Single scene. So.
And also don't play the slow-mo blood spurt game either, drinking game, because that'll just mess you up. No, it's awesome. One of my favorite bad guys. I remembered him as soon as I saw him. I was like, oh man, it's the main dude who's kidnaps Spartacus and enslaves him and stuff.
Glaber. Yeah, Glaber. He's awesome. Dude,
he's like Sam from that season of Aussie Traders. He's just, I want to punch him in the face. Like Bad Luck Fale would say, like
he's a heel, yes.
Dude, he doesn't even have to say anything. You just look at his eyes and he's just like, punch.
And then you see who he's married to, and you're like, motherfucking, you just want to fucking punch him even harder.
Yeah, it's not fair, is it?
It's like, come on now. So, she's one of my favorite characters, and I think she's just one of the best characters. I love her. It's awesome. She gets fucked over so bad, and the way she reacts to getting fucked over, meaning Glaber's wife, is just unexpected and amazing. And it's like, wow, she is the best. I love her.
It's I think a lot of things that are set in Rome like imply but kind of shy away from just how kind of raunchy it was. This show, I still think, kind of shies away from just how raunchy it was, but it shows a lot more than anything else does. It's like, okay, all right, we're doing this.
You guys are watching Blood and Sand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it starts off with Spartacus is in the Roman army, kind of, or he gets like enslaved and he has to fight the Roman army, right?
He's an auxiliary because the Rome has promised to help them protect their home, and then Rome's like, "Nah, we want to go over here, and you're coming with us," and they're like, "No." So their home burns anyway, and because Spartacus ran away and made Glaber look like an idiot, they hunted him down and enslaved him. So yeah,
and he's got a hot wife. And he loves her a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. He loves that ribbon too.
He does. Well, the red serpent. She had the red serpent in the tree.
That's right. She's the red serpent.
And everything on that show, well, not everything, but most things on that show, like the red serpent and stuff like that, there is stuff about that in history. So that's real. There's something about that. So like all this stuff is in Plutarch and shit like that. And it's like, it's very historically accurate in ways that is unexpected.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's. I'm not too surprised though. It is like Sam Raimi and all those kind of guys. They like all this stuff. They did the Xena shows, and I know that's not an accurate thing, but they love Greek myths. They love ancient Rome. They love sword and sandals, and they kind of remember that you need some good intrigue to go with your sword and sandal stuff as well. You need to put some hot people in too. For everyone. It caters to everyone. Don't you worry, dear listeners.
Sam Raimi's brother was on Xena. He was the goofy sidekick or whatever on Xena. So that's great.
They always made him put on heavy zombie and Evil Dead makeup in all the Evil Dead films and make him do all this great
Hey,
stuff. And
it's like
stuff
Clint
with
Howard, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
He was on Star
The
Trek.
ice cream man. He was in Star Trek.
Yeah, Clint Howard played
yeah.
the little baby man or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the Corbomite maneuver.
Yeah.
He was the. Oh my god, that was him.
Yeah.
You're right. The fuck.
He didn't need his brother. He was a star from the fucking day he was born, you know. But we did.
I'll tell you what, he's always managed to keep himself getting work, and maybe some of that's traded off his more successful brother, but I don't know. He's always been a steady horror B grade guy. People who watch that shit, we all like a bit of Clint Howard.
Weird looking can get you paid. Look at Polka Dot Man, you know. So there's a few of them out there that's like, wow, you have quite.
Brad Dourif is another one of those dudes.
Yeah, man, he's awesome. So good.
Yeah,
so good. God,
I like Jeffrey Combs. He gives me that creepy white dude vibe too, like B grade creepy white dude vibes. Plus, he's like every second character in Deep Space Nine as well.
Well, every second character in Spartacus is some creepy looking white dude too. So
I love how they like. It's definitely not accent accurate, and they've just decided, look, we want hot beefcake that can do awesome fights. We have that. They can't all do accents. So all right, Crixus the Gaul he's from New Zealand, and he is. Spartacus sounds like he's Australian because. He is Australian. Yes, he is. Lucy Lawless sounds like she's from New Zealand. You know, and like
it's all right.
And just go with it. Like, you know, it's fine. We're used to that all the time anyway. When we watch an ancient Roman show movie or something, and you know, all the evil guys have got like British accents or something. I
just watched Nosferatu, okay, and I loved it. I love Robert Eggers, so I was like predisposed to love it. But everybody's got a British accent. It takes place in Germany. And everything in the movie is like extreme detail. Everything's accurate, except all these people going, "Oh, what's all this then?" Walking around doing that in Germany. So it's pretty funny. I'm sorry I mentioned it because it'll probably ruin the movie for somebody. But that
doesn't ruin it for me. I expect that. I don't know what's in a
Oi!
Look, do you want all these big names in your movie? Yeah, I do. All right, then
it's very good, by the way. I really liked it. So
yeah, we've been meaning to get around to it, but just been a little busy and stuff like that. But you know, we got a voucher over Christmas for the movie, so we might use it on that.
Okay, there you go. I would like to tell you about a movie I watched recently that I was surprised by. It's called Snake Eyes. You ever heard of this?
It's Nick Cage?
Nicolas Cage, right? So I thought that was like a movie where he played some shitty gangster and it would be like a stupid action movie, but it's not. It's a like detective, like almost film noir kind of thing that happens in a stadium during some like political or during a boxing match. That's what it is. So Nicolas Cage shows up to this boxing match and he's an asshole cop. And the camera follows him. And it keeps following him. And it keeps following him. And the whole movie's like that. And I had no idea. It is shot incredibly well. Like the whole movie is like every scene you watch, you go, what year was this made? Like, I don't think this could be made at this time. Like, it is awesome. And like the content of the movie, there's a couple twists that are kind of obvious if you're paying attention, but if you're not, you're gonna get like, oh no shit. Like Lieutenant Dan is in it, and he's fantastic, of course, and he plays his Nicolas Cage's best friend, but he's like a government agent or something.
Oh, he's gonna betray him big time.
Well, I mean, I don't think that could happen, but you'd have to watch to find out. But but it's like it's so crazy how these shots happen. Someone will come out of a hallway door, and you'll follow them down the hallway. And then like they'll go in a different door and you'll start following somebody else. And it is like, who made this? And I didn't look that up. But man, it was really good. Snake Eyes.
All right. I'll have to watch Snake Eyes. There's a couple of B-grade Scott Adkins movies. I think one's called One Shot.
Okay.
And there might be a bit of start setup where it starts off like a normal movie. But once the action starts, it's all done as one shot.
Like Hardcore Harry or whatever or something
Yeah,
like that.
but not 3D like that. Like like a normal movie, but it's just this very few or to no edits. And what I like about it is you watch it and the plot has this like generic B-grade action movie plot, but what holds it together is the fact that like, all right, rather than just make this in the usual generic way, let's make it interesting and see if we can do all this stuff in one shot.
That's cool. I like that. I like
So-
when people try to do stuff, you know?
And he's my favorite. I don't know if I've talked about him much. I guess I should, but Scott Adkins is one of my favorite action heroes. If you've never seen any of his B grade movies, everyone, you've seen him in an A grade movie, usually as the big boss's right hand henchman dude, who obviously is going to die as the hero kills him on his way up to the final boss. He's in one of the John Wick movies as well.
Yeah.
He's the dude in the fat suit.
He's the dude
That's
in the
him.
fat suit in John Wick 4, which is what probably most people would know him from if you could, but you don't recognize him. He looks like fucking Gino 3 years ago. It's wild.
Yeah, and a bit like a penguin as well.
Yeah, that's true. Good call.
They did penguin him up.
I wonder if the same people did the makeup.
That'd be gnarly, man. That'd be yeah. I can imagine that. Yeah, but man, like, yeah, it's pretty awesome. So yeah, you'll see him in A grade stuff all the time. He's even like getting beat up by Sacha Baron Cohen in one of those movies. I think there's one where he's a football hooligan or something, or he used to be. He's a football fan, and
he's also in every Stone Cold Steve Austin movie. He's in Expendables a couple, like at least once, you know. So
dude, he's in movies with Black Dynamite all the time. Right. Michael Jai White. So... Those two are like buddies, and they often like they'll either do movies together where they're like, oh, well, we're teaming up, or they're doing another type of movie where they're fighting against each other again, and it's fucking awesome every time. Those are he's probably my like other favorite action movie star, Michael Jai White. I think he's awesome too. Because they do all their own karate and shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're shooters.
You know, I like that Scott Adkins started as a soap actor in the UK.
Did he?
Yeah,
he's not like Josh Barnett. Okay.
No, he's doing soap operas, and whilst he's kind of making a living doing soap operas, he's trying to get his side gig started as like someone who does action movies.
There you go.
Because that was his passion. Like that's all he wanted to do. Yeah.
Do you remember that weird thing in Twin Peaks: The Return where there's this guy and he's like kind of flirting with this lady, but his job is to sit and look at this weird like plastic thing, right?
Oh, and, yeah, like, that's with Madeline Zima.
So he has to look at this thing and just study it and change the cameras and all that stuff out. But there's a security guard. That security guard is Michael Bisping, who is like a UFC fighter. So... Wow. I don't know why he always makes me. That's
a strange connection too.
Yeah, it's
like,
so weird.
Was it him that being like, look, I'm not sure if I can imagine David Lynch watching boxing or UFC or not. You never know. I don't know what he's into. I was always just kind of happy to watch the art on screen and know he wasn't a complete like dick. You know, I was just always just happy to watch the art rather than delve into the man himself. So.
Yeah,
I guess that's what he'd prefer anyway, isn't it?
So, you know, pretty cool. Well, so Spartacus, you're rocking Spartacus. I enjoy that show a lot. I'm excited to hear what you think as you go through the show for a second time, third time. I don't know how many times. It's been a while though, right?
Yeah, I think might be my third time. It's Charity's first time. And how
do you feel about it so far?
She's into it. I think she loved Rome. She couldn't give a shit that there wasn't a single fucking fight scene in the whole show.
Okay.
But on the same thing, on a different kind, it tickles a different part of your brain, Spartacus, when you see like
brain.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's hard to like watch this and be like, all right. Yeah, okay, I can get into this if I'm going to see this. All right, yeah, you know, and it promises of more of everything. So if you like the really cool character stuff, there's going to be more of that. If you like the luridness of it, there's going to be more of that. If you like the cheesy ass fight scenes with the slow-mo blood splatters, You're gonna fucking love that too. And they don't even bother with fucking old time ancient shit music. It's fucking metal.
Yeah, there's fucking guitars and shit. So
Dude, I'm watching Crixus versus Spartacus for the first time. They're on that little bridge thingy.
yeah.
By the way, Crixus is like my favorite.
Oh, I hate Crixus. I hate him.
Dude, I hate him too. No, but I like him mostly because like I like Manu Bennett because he turns up again in Arrow and he plays
Okay.
Deathstroke, and he's just
Okay.
fucking terrifying in the first few seasons as that character. So yeah, no, and he he keeps his clothes on the whole time. Wow, boo!
You can't do that.
Fuck
at
you,
Spartacus.
CW.
No, you can't do that. I just can't stand how much of a drama queen he is. He is a massive drama
dude.
queen. It's like, enough. We get it. We are hearing enough about Spartacus missing his wife. We don't care about you and your drama. It's like enough. So
Yeah, no, but see, I'm already looking forward to the times where like, all right, these two are eventually going to be like respect each other and like join forces to kick ass, and I'm like, I'm there for it. That's what I'm living for because I like that stuff. You know,
Chris is also a real historical character. You know,
Nice.
so he's real, and supposedly the whole thing where they couldn't decide which way to go towards the end of it all is a real thing. You know, that's in Plutarch. Fucking Plutarch.
man. Yeah, so it is weirdly accurate in a lot of ways.
It's right on the money, man. A lot of ways. I love it.
Yeah. It's real enough that you buy into it. Even me, who's like, and us who are like nerds for this stuff. So yeah, it's enough.
Well, wait
It's
till more
accurate enough.
historical figures start showing up because they keep showing up, and it's like,
Dude, I
and
know
they're all
Caesar turns up.
fucking psychopaths, and it's good times. So
Yeah,
Crass.
well, it's the Roman culture, man. They're all playing the game,
Jeez,
and that game is one-upmanship. Who has the biggest? The
I'm
biggest
calling
what? Just the biggest.
Jupiter's cock. That's the
Yeah. Yeah. By Jupiter's cock. Yeah, that's
I love it. That's awesome. Yeah. So what else you been up to, man?
yeah, not so much. It was like really nice beach weekend, and then like Charity wanted to play some arcades, so we did that on her birthday,
Okay.
which was nice.
Dream Shooter
Arcades.
Junior.
No, they didn't have it there.
Ah!
That's at the local shopping center. No. So no, that was nice. My uncle, I don't think I mentioned it on the show because you're like you want to do it afterwards. It's happened, like when it's good news or whatever. But my uncle had cancer and he's just been named cancer free. Named cancer free? Yeah. He's not Uncle Keith anymore. His name is
Now it's
cancer free.
I'd go by that. If I fought cancer and won, I'd go by that. You know, that's a name you should be proud of.
I'd be ELP. My little thing is like undisputed cancer champion or something. Like, yeah, that'd be cool. No,
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, so that's my mom's older brother. My mom was the middle, so I was getting a bit freaked out that I'm like not my mom and not my uncle too, but no, he's pulled through the other side. It's going to be a few years of checkups and all that kind of shit,
Oh yeah,
and slow recovery and all that. But I'd rather he have that than none of it. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty much my awesome news. Like, yeah, my uncle has no cancer. So
that's good. That's like the best news you could possibly get. So I don't have anything.
I got the news on my on Charity's birthday as well. So my cousin messaged me. My uncle also messaged me.
Well, tell me some defining characteristic about your uncle. Tell me about him.
I think he likes old rock and roll, dad rock. Like Eagles, Paul McCartney. He likes the Beatles.
Okay.
But like Paul McCartney, especially like Wings, and because you got to remember he's a child of the '70s, and so is my mom and auntie, and it's over time you can be surprised by it, but at the time in the '70s, Wings was bigger than the Beatles, dude. Wings was one of the biggest bands in the world.
On the run, man, you gotta catch him.
That's right. My mom's favorite album was that. I love that's probably my favorite Paul McCartney solo non-Beatles kind of thing as well.
It's pretty awesome.
It's a good, so Wings was fucking huge. So that's why, yeah, they were all McCartney fans. So, you know, every time I'd go over there, he'd always have like some kind of USB, or I guess before that, other technology, like some CDs burned for me of, oh, here's some demos, or here's some fucking rare recordings and stuff of all sorts of old time, like Deep Purple as well, Black Sabbath, all this kind of shit. So he's partly responsible for exposing me to a lot of really cool music. He also likes like models, and when I was a kid / teenager, for some reason every time I went over there, his house, you know, because he's got a son and daughter, so I'd go, and they're about my age, so you know, I'm in Melbourne, they're in Canberra, that's about 6-hour drive away. Half of the school holidays, like, I might spend over there in Canberra. So if it's a 2-week school holiday period between terms, I might spend a week in Canberra and stay with my cousins because they're my age and shit. And every time I'd go over there, I had a fucking nasty habit of breaking shit. So in the room I was staying in, there's a bunk bed, and I'm on the top bunk. And I went to throw my bag over the top onto the top bunk, and down came his model Enterprise and Klingon fucking bird of prey, crashing down to the ground and breaking into pieces. And then various other things like broken game pieces, glasses. Just like when I was at my Nan and Pops, no problem. My other uncle and auntie, absolutely no problem. That house, break stuff all the time, every time.
Don't feel bad. I often broke stuff at my cousin's house, which would just like I would get shamed for. You know,
he still jokes about it, like just kind of one of his things to kind of keep him busy as he's going through like chemo and stuff. Is he's like these fucking giant Lego projects. He made a Titanic and stuff like that.
No shit! Wow.
And so I was over there in September to see him after like one of his operations just before, because we weren't sure how that would go. That's how tenuous and like weird all this kind of stuff can be, right? And he's like, and I'm like, oh man, I'll have to have a look someday. He says, I'll just show you photos of it, man. So you know, he's not ready for me to be in his house near his fucking Legos.
Uncle Keith is fucking hilarious. That's tremendous.
Oh, and if we go back to really cool David Lynch memories, a friend of mine, like I'm in my mid-20s maybe, and I got a circle of friends, and they all like David Lynch, probably more than I do, but I'm interested, you know, and it's, well, let's have a David Lynch movie night. All right, cool. So, look, I like making comments during things I don't like watching. Everyone does, I guess, right? And I think with interacting with me, Andy, you also know I like to make jokes and comments for things I am absolutely loving on the screen as well at the same time. So, you know, I got drunk off a bottle of Red Plonk, a cheap red wine, and pretty much Mystery Science Theater, Mulholland Drive, until someone asked me if I was enjoying it, and I said, "Yeah, this movie's fucking awesome." Like, and that's what you do when you have like friends around. Anyway, I passed out snoring, and I was never invited to. And I think I woke up halfway through Lost Highway, and I was promptly never invited to one of their movie nights ever again.
You're the pariah of what's the name of that town? What's it called?
Melbourne?
No, the place where your uncle lives.
Oh, Canberra.
Canberra. You're the pariah of Canberra. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, I'm not allowed next to anything he's spent, like any of his hobbies.
You're fucking
like,
ruining the best
I can't
movie
break
ever.
music. The music will always be there somehow, you know. And you won't have to easily repair that or anything, you know, repair that and stuff. So yeah. No, and he loves his sports, so I have to hear, like, I love him, but you know, I don't care about fucking Premier League soccer. I don't. But you know, I'm always glad that Arsenal's going well. Well done, thank you. Or they're going shit apparently. I don't know.
Is Arsenal? Where's Arsenal?
I think they're a London-based team-ish. I don't know shit about Premier League.
I know there's like that team that Ted Lasso coached. cockroaches. That's all I know.
Shit. Yeah, I'm probably getting a free Apple trial today actually because
Oh,
old Doctor Who's on streaming there, and I
brother.
need a Doctor Who episode with subtitles and for
Brother.
something I'm doing tomorrow. So I need some Apple recommends. Hit
Oh
me.
man. Oh man. There's so many. Like they don't make bad shows. There's so many good shows. Foundation is awesome. It's
I love
awesome.
those books.
Oh man. I'll have to look at, kind of look it up and see what else I recommend, like, because you only have 14 days or 7 days
Yeah, but
or
the
something like that.
thing is, though, if I like it, I'll probably just plunk down enough for an extra month. You can always fucking cancel it.
That's true. That's true. Well, I would say it's worth it just for a month or something to bust out all these shows because there's so many good ones, and like they don't make bad ones. And if you like, there's shit like Masters of the Air. It's about fucking guys that flew planes in World War II, and it's amazing. And there's shit like Foundation, which is about crazy sci-fi shit, and it's fucking bonkers,
Foundation,
man.
It's Isaac Asimov, man.
Well, don't get too married to Asimov. Just watch the show and enjoy it because some people don't like that they change stuff. But man, it's awesome, dude.
Those books take place over centuries and stuff. So to make a coherent TV show, you kind of need to. Right? Yeah, man. No, I totally.
There is a heel on that show that is one of my favorite heels I've ever seen on television. He is, and it's not one person; it's three people, but it's one. It's confusing, and you probably understand that. But it's like
sounds like the Master in Fallout 1 or something like that.
I don't know. I never played Fallout 1. I'm a fucking poser Fallout fan. So.
Do you like Fallout? Yes. Well, then you're a fan. Like it's simple as that. Doesn't mean you don't need to be you don't need to be knee deep in that shit.
I'm playing Fallout 1 or 2. I'm not gonna do that.
No.
So,
dude, I tried playing them and then I just watched playthroughs, so just to see the story. So I totally get it. It's too archaic. You think it'd be money optimizing that for new players in a new generation since it's like one of the hottest fucking video game properties and TV properties in the world? No, they have a license to print money and they've got it lost up someone's butt somewhere. I don't know what's going on, man.
Have you ever played the Fallout mobile game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shelter.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, Shelter's pretty awesome. I thought it was really good. But it's like
curious about that Severance show as well because I like the dude from I like the Parks and Recreation guy in it.
Dude, not only is Severance one of the best sci-fi TV shows I've ever seen in my life. Okay, I can tell you what the premise is. But that's it, okay? I'll tell you nothing more. The premise is, what if work-life balance was real? What if when you weren't at work, you weren't at work? And when you were at work, you were at work. And that's it. That's what it's about. It is one of the coolest shows I've ever seen. And it comes back Sunday. So the second season we've been waiting 3 years for is coming back Sunday. Fuck. It is fucking kismet, dude. You gotta watch Severance, and it's great. It's even got Patricia Arquette, who is in Lost Highway, in it. Okay,
oh, she's definitely in Lost Highway. I had a crush on her ever since I saw True Romance, the Tony Scott movie that was written by Quentin Tarantino, Christian Slater, and Dennis Hopper, and Christopher Walken, and so many guys. It's like Tony Scott called in so many favors to get that cast, man. So it was insane. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Great movie. Yeah. Well, anyway, just saying, she's in it, so you should watch. Severance is fantastic, and I can't tell you anything else about it because it would spoil the experience. Because it is quite the discovery. There's even Cool Rick from Patriot is in it as well, and he plays the same character pretty much, and it's awesome. I love that guy. He's so great.
All right. Well, we've got 2 shows on the go, so which is Spartacus and Future Man.
What about Traitors? You're watching Traitors?
Yeah, but we watch those on whenever we have a show night with the Joy, the mother-in-law. So
okay, all right, just making sure.
Then we usually binge like 2 to 4 episodes. So suddenly I'm like really behind, and next thing you know, I'm like 2 episodes behind, and next thing you know, I'm up to date. So you never quite. I'm up to episode.
This UK season, the traders and the faithful are fucking stupid. It's
Dude.
awesome. I love it.
I feel like the second episode that sunk in, when that sunk in for me, I was like, all right, that's what they're going for this time.
They're all stupid.
Because there was some really good candid. By the way, English, we're talking about UK Traders Season 3. If you're not up to date, at least on the first 2 episodes, whatever. All right.
Whatever. That's what they all say.
Whatever,
like,
bruv.
Actually, and I want to punch him in the fucking face.
There were some really cool people there that I thought would be good traders. Like this woman who's got like a doctorate in communication. I thought, oh my God, she's going to be awesome in this game. She's the first murdered because why? She told everyone she had a doctorate in body language and communication. So she's fucking stupid.
It's awesome.
So she's dumb because she let slip how smart she was, which is dumb. Everyone's dumb. Everyone. Because
they have another person who won't stop crying, which is my favorite person on Traders, especially UK Traders, is the person who won't stop crying. It's like, yes, cry, continue to cry. I love it. It's so funny.
So they choose the 3 traders, and I'm like, really? Really?
What's her name knows what she's doing. You know?
And I think only one of the 3 is probably doing it the way that's probably smart, and that is it Mika or something like that?
I don't know anybody's names.
Right, and she's the quiet one of the 3 traders. The other one is old and so stupid that as soon as Vorderman or whatever her name is, Wrinkleman, as soon as she said, fucking said, all right, traitors, this old lady who's a traitor snaps her head and looks straight at her.
She's a terrible traitor. Linda.
And I'm like,
Linda's her name. Linda sucks.
I said to Charity and Joy, I'm like, if she's still in it in episode 4, this is like the dumbest season of Traders since like New Zealand season 2.
That was a great season,
which was amazing. Like the traders were like average traders. One of them was even terrible, and yet like it took till like the 8th or 9th episode to eliminate one. And that's because one of the other traders for 4 nights in a row was saying it's him on a silver platter. It's incredible. But yeah, so they've watched the first episode and the other 2 are into it, and I'm like, I don't know about this one. Then the second episode, especially when the games happen, I'm like, oh, that's a twist. They're trying some stuff. So they're trying to make the games interesting for you and I who mentally check out during the games. And I have to watch them because the other 2 want to watch those bits.
Well,
so I have to watch those.
They know it because of analytics that we skip that part.
They must. So now we need to make it interesting for the people watching, or they're just going to skip this portion later on. Yeah. They must know. You're right. Oh, I don't know how they know I do it, though, because they don't know how I watch the show, but that must be what happens. We can't be the only 2.
Well, and what you're saying is that they have these challenges on every episode of the Traders, and the challenges are usually like, I don't care, because it doesn't play into the drama. But this year, they've done things like in the very first episode, they had everybody on this fucking like Viking boat. Everybody has to work together to row. So that's one thing they got to do. But when they get to the first platform to get money, it says, hey, 2 people have to get off, right? So when 2 people get off of the boat, that is drama central because the people that get off the boat are mad that other people didn't get off. And it's fantastic. It was really smart. I really liked the first episode.
Nice. Yeah, I'm getting into it. So, you know, I've watched, I should know better. Like I've watched enough of these now to be like, once it settles in, like, just chill. You get into a rhythm. So, yeah. What about you, man? Just before you go, hey, thanks for asking me about how I've been going lately, and then launch into it. Fuck you. How have you been going lately?
That's just like being my friend. Hey, fuck you. So great. First of all, huge stuff going on. So like, you know, I play guitar and I've been doing that my whole life. And I've had many opportunities to record what I play. You know, obviously I have a phone. I can record what I play. I can record what I'm doing. But it's not like having a studio. It's not like being recording directly into the computer. So over the past, like probably like starting in November, like I don't know, maybe a little earlier than that, I started like figuring out I got this like large pedal collection I've been working on. Why? Let's use this as capital towards something more important, which is being able to record and being able to like, you know, figure out that part of music that's like come so far since last time I was recording shit, which would have been like in the early 2000s.
Oh
So
yeah.
so shit's come, changed quite a bit. So I got this thing, which is this was a big move. I got the Strymon Uridium, which is it is a pedal, all right, but it's a pedal design so you can plug your guitar into it and it pretends to be an amplifier. So this goes in between that and my interface, which is over here. So then that allows me to now record into my computer straight and sound great.
Fuck.
So
That's exciting.
now I can record ideas that I have. So like the other day, I made a big move. I like got this thing. It's up here. It's called the HX1, and it's like I traded a bunch of like pedals that were just inexpensive pedals. We'll just call them. And so I traded a bunch of those for this thing, and it does every effect there is. So I don't need pedals anymore. I got that, and I got the other pedals that I kept, and so like I don't need that anymore. The focus is now writing and producing music. So I've already done a couple things. A couple of them were not good, but this last thing I did was pretty good. I'm kind of liking it. You know what I mean? I've listened to it a few times. I already got some ideas that I want to change. I want to change the bass line, stuff like that. But it was like I got home like Wednesday. I had the day off, and I went out and I had a bunch of shit I had to do. I had to get dental work done that I didn't know I was going to have. I thought I was going for cleaning, and I show up and they're like, "Yeah, you got a fucking this happening." And I'm like, okay. So my face is all numb. I go to the eye doctor because I had an appointment at 12:40, and they said, "Yeah, your appointment's you don't have an appointment. You made an appointment with the virtual assistant, which doesn't really work." And I'm like, "Cool," but I had this plan is to go get this thing up here. So my day got cut short. Things were kind of going fucky, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go over there. There's a place right near me called Jam House Music. It's amazing, and they will take trade-ins. And the guy knows me, and I've been dealing with him for probably 4 years now at this point. So he's a cool dude. So I take some of my shit in there. I get this thing, and I come home, and I have an idea. And I just sit down, and 7 hours later, I get up, and I'm done. And it's just like the whole day disappeared, but in a way that's like, that's what I want my life to disappear into is that. That's what I want time to disappear into. And so it was a pretty cool experience. I'm happy with what came out on the other end.
I've heard it's pretty good.
I just like, I don't know, man. Like that was a cool experience. And it's not something I've done since literally I was in my 20s. And like, what have I been doing all this time? I could focus on that. But really what I'm more focused on is like, what can happen in the future? What can we do now? What can we do joke wise, with that information, you know what I mean? Like now, Ref Chumpy ain't got no business. Doesn't have to be just me with an acoustic guitar singing into this microphone. So,
oh my god, I like that. You're sitting there going like, just think of the art I could make with this.
No,
of all this, and then you're like, nah, I want to do jokes.
What are the jokes we can make?
Splitting his pants or something, or going flying through the fucking crowd, or tripping over the chairs that one time during the Moxley Great-O-Khan match.
The best thing that I figured out that is like a key thing that I should have known a long time ago. It was difficult to do, and I needed all the stuff, and I needed the focus. You got to come to life when it comes to you. You got to, and so was matching up video with audio. So the other day I recorded a video and I recorded myself playing, but I recorded it playing into the computer and I record the video separately, right? So you know how like when movies they have that clacker thing, what that's for? That's for matching the sound, so you can hear the clack and you see it happening and you match it up, right? So that's where the sound begins, boom, right? And then you cut that part off, and that's how sound works in movies. All right. So I did that for the first time the other day, and that was like, I was like, oh man, it was a big deal. And it's just like, it's like stuff like, sometimes it's difficult for me to share successes that I have in life. Like, for example, I have a Reddit post blow up. No one gives a fuck about that. Like, no one cares, right? I have a Twitter post blow up or whatever. This is a way for me to kind of show people in my life the successes I'm having virtually, if that makes any sense.
I don't know how you feel.
It's hard to, like, when someone says, "What have you been up to?" and you're like, "Well, podcasting."
Yeah.
How do I show that? How do I, you know what I mean? It's like it's a insecurity I have, I guess I should say. So
yeah, like I don't even know how many people in my life know of a podcast.
right.
I already know what the fucking conversation is going to be like. Oh, you got a podcast? What is it about? New Japan Pro Wrestling. Oh,
Cool. Glazed eyes.
yeah, they're fucking like New Japan. Ooh, pro wrestling. Okay. And the other thing is I've been doing Doctor Who podcasts lately as well. So, like, I don't bring the Never Open podcast much up there, and I don't bring that up much here because, like, I mean, I'm sure you're glad that I'm doing it. But,
I do.
Your interest
I
in
care.
Doctor Who's, I know, but
I just don't care about
I'm
Doctor
also
Who that
aware your
much.
interest in Doctor
Right.
Who is down here, so I don't need to kind of bring that up all the time. And I feel like that's the same kind of vibe when I do that stuff. Like I don't mention it often, but I do have a wrestling podcast I've been doing for 6 years because I know the fucking crossover between that is not huge. So
But the point is, it's hard to explain it to people, right? It's hard to explain to people in a way that doesn't make you sound like some kind of fucking asshole. And it's like, I'm not an asshole. I just do the thing. I just like to do this thing. It's like, I don't know. You play Candy Crush all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I'm doing is more important than Candy Crush. It's like that's what I'm trying to tell people is that what we're doing is somewhat important. Like there's a little bit, somewhat.
No one can tell me they don't like listening to nerds talk about shit because you could be the most like butchy sports person ever, and you're going to be like, I want to hear a podcast about my favorite team and the history of it. Guess who does that podcast?
People.
A fucking nerd.
People.
Yeah.
Just like us. So here we are.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
That's fun.
Oh my god.
So that's my big news is that, like, creativity wise, which is a big thing for me. If you've noticed, like, I always want to do weird shit. I always want to do something, and a big part of that is growing up watching people like David Lynch, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that, and maybe always want to be creative. And so this is a big thing for me because now I can be creative in a way that doesn't disturb others too. Like before I'd have to amp or mic my amplifier, in my apartment. It's like, I know my neighbors fucking hate me. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. It's like, now I don't have to do that. It can all happen under the cans, and so,
Hey.
and then it can go out, so it's like, I don't know, man. I'm fired up about that. It's really
your
cool.
creative thought processes for the music. It's pretty much this podcast because we both know we could take this serious and we know where it could lead if we took it serious. Like we've had some really cool people on the show and all that kind of stuff. And if we really wanted to, we could probably take this a lot more serious, but then it would be about half as much fun that it is right now.
That's the deal, right?
Yeah.
It's not fun to do like a hobby like this as something that's serious. I've done it. It's fucking sucks. I mean, like the recording, that part's the good part. Like the performing and the preparing for the performing and stuff like that, and the camaraderie, that's always real. That's always awesome. But the work behind the scenes is fucking bullshit. And so it's like, it's just too much. Guys, you want to deal with wrestling people? Get out of here.
Especially when anyone listening to our show doesn't need a fucking match by match, blow by blow with Stank League. Like, they don't need that. No one cares about that.
We're deciding no one needs that. Yes. So.
Yeah. No one needs it's. When they need to hear that? Never.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's the name of our show. So.
Yay. Fuck off. I always imagine saying that. We watch once a week because my sister lives a couple of hours away. Michelle, once a week we'll watch a Trailer Park Boys because she's never seen that. We worked our way through Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We were up to date on that. Now we're doing Trailer Park Boys. Michelle's never seen that. So we just got done with the episode where... What?
Her reaction to Trailer Park Boys has to be priceless, right? I mean,
yeah, but we just got done with one of my favorite scenes yesterday. It's the episode after Ricky burns his dad's trailer down with over the, hooking up, and it burns down because the chips are left on, and Bubbles takes the blame, and it cuts to Ricky going like, "Look, I was going to tell everyone and take the blame, but like Bubbles already took it.
He already did it, right?
Yeah, he already did it. You can't take blame if it's already taken. So like, he took it off my shoulders. I'm going to let him have it. Like he took it.
And he told everybody that.
Yeah, and it's such a Ricky. Oh my god, it's such a Ricky thing to say. So, oh my god, it's amazing. So I think this is the season where everyone thinks Leahy's sober and he sips a lot of water.
Oh, it's amazing.
Now that does turn out to be vodka or something, right? Like it is.
Oh, he's been drinking shit water the whole time.
Yeah,
So it's a shitstorm for sure.
Yeah, but this time he's got like this whole other plan. He's kind of like, how Bane defeats Batman and totally breaks him. I must break you, and knee over the knee, backbreaker. I feel like this is the season of Trailer Park Boys, where that's what Leahy's doing to Ricky, making him lose everything. Yeah.
When his like final plan comes to fruition, and he's like, Batman, you drink liquor now, but I was born liquor. In fact, I am the liquor.
That's right. I'm just waiting.
I am the liquor,
dude. I know it's alcohol the whole time because we're usually watching it remotely, and we just message each other what was happening. I can say to Charity easily, I'm like, I can't wait till Michelle realizes that like Leahy's been fucking plastered this whole time.
Right in their face. He's like,
oh yeah, in a water bottle, just like the one you're holding. It's absolutely incredible. And the episode ends with Ricky's dad Ray getting pissed off and leaving him. He's like, "You lied to the man in the chair," and then he stands up and walks away and turns back to him and says again, "You lied to the man in the chair."
As he's walking away.
And he walks away in disgust. That's like the show's really dumb, but it has just like these amazing pieces of nuggets of gold. There's people just fighting over who gets the right to steal the fucking shopping from the supermarket to sell it on the cheap to everybody else in the trailer park. It's like a turf war over groceries.
Fucking carts, yes.
Yeah.
No, it is groceries that time, right? They're stealing the groceries, right? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Bubbles steals the grocery carts. There's a whole episode where Ricky explains that if someone has their stuff out to trash, that means you can take it, no problem.
Yeah.
So if you take their barbecue and you throw it out by the road, 1, 2, 3, now it's trash. So
that's the kind of logic I've started calling dog logic.
Okay.
Because I noticed that with Wilma, like, all right, she knows to sit on this mat when we're all in the kitchen, so she doesn't get in anyone's way, and then we can give her some food. She's good. But that only applies for this type of food and this type of food. Something different and new lands on the ground. It doesn't count for that, obviously.
Right.
Well, yeah, like it's it's got those little categories for things like that, and all these kind of little things. And like, I'm like, dude, how stupid do you think I am? That's not going to work. And then it does work because it's Wilma and she's adorable and she's getting another treat. And that's all there is to it.
That's how that works,
and she's going to walk around an extra block later on. But I say that, but it just depends. But so.
Gotta be honest with the folks on the podcast
about
how far you're walking your dogs.
Yeah. No, it's about 25, twice a day, about 25 minutes to half an hour, something like that.
That's a long walk, man.
You say that, but sometimes half of it is just Wilma sniffing shit. Well, no, that's literal. That's Wilma sniffing shit or piss, usually on trees and fences and everywhere. The fucking next door neighbors, right? You know what they do? They feed the birds by throwing bread onto the green grass. So guess what Wilma likes to do when we go for a walk? run straight to that fucking piece of nature strip and either charge at any bird still dumb enough to be there, or eat their bread.
Oh yeah. Trying to
Wilma's
get
eating that bread like it's crack. She runs straight to it every morning for like the last week now.
Don't let her. You have to go the other way next time.
I've been trying, man, but we walk her twice a day, and sometimes the other person starts and like we're not thinking, and the next thing you know, we're down that hill and she's eating the bread. Yeah, it's gone. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're on a walk then. It's perfect.
That's great. Yeah, because that's going to go right through her. So the bread and dogs don't mix as far as digestion goes. So
No.
it doesn't really work with humans that much either, you know,
Mm-mm.
if you pay attention. So that's oh man, that's great, man. Dogs are awesome. I love them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, me too. I'm a dog man now. Yeah.
I met my buddy's dog the other day. Her name's Layla. Tremendous name. And he was like warning me. He's like, listen, my dog's going to jump all over you. It's going to be a disaster. And at my job, I constantly have to go to people's homes. And when I do that and they say that, usually the dog does jump all over me. It's kind of like, all right, bro. But usually, like me and dogs, we're cool. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? We're going to be cool. I'm going to lean down. I'm going to say, hey, you know, I got to pass inspection, all that shit. My buddy's dog jumps up, like kind of lightly taps a little tippy taps on my leg, gets the fucking love that the dog's looking for, and is like, cool. And goes over there and just lays down. And I'm like, I love when dogs react to me that way. It's like, it's just the best. And it happens all the time. But he's like, yeah, my dog's usually jumping around and shit. He's like, I was wondering why I was all jumping all over. I'm like,
it's interesting
just fucking
seeing
awesome.
how Wilma reacts on dog walks to people, because there's one guy we see sometimes, like she hackles get up, she doesn't like him, and then there's other times we'll see this person and then we're like, oh, she's usually friendly, yeah, you'll be fine, and rolls instantly over for belly rubs, like fucking like they get a sense about people or something, man. They get a vibe of someone, you know. They pick up on stuff.
It's true.
She picks up on my fucking gamer rage when I'm pissed off that Charity's beat me at a game.
She's out.
And guess what? Wilma's not sitting next to her anymore. She's sitting next to me going, you all right, man? You all right?
Really? So
Yeah.
Wilma is empathetic. She's not going to run away. She's going to stand there and fight for you. I like it.
Yeah. So, you know, it's it's like it's nothing serious. I'm just annoyed that my fucking dice rolls aren't coming up on Catan,
What?
even though I've got like all the best numbers. What do you mean another 2?
She's feeling
How
the
is it
vibes,
3
though.
2s? Where are my
You
6s
know?
and 5s? Hey?
She's feeling the vibes, you know?
Yeah, she's feeling the vibes. Absolutely. And she's feeling my vibe of my urge to grab this phone, turn it up nice and sideways, and just throw it out the fucking window.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were going to shine it up and then stick it up
Showing
somebody's
up
ass.
candy ass. It's gonna be a candy ass though.
It does. Only kind he likes is candy asses. I don't know what that means, but here we are.
Sweet candy.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
All
we
right.
watched the wrestling.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that? We talked about that a little bit. We didn't really talk about
No,
what
but we did watch Valley Battles.
Yeah.
And it was hey, do you like this match? Cool. Because we don't want to give it a finish yet because we're going to do it again in a couple months. Oh,
And that was
okay.
fun. We were watching it. Like I called the finish of like the first 4 matches, and then I
You
was
did.
wrong about the rest of them.
No, he
I was
did
way
that.
off.
First match, he's like, this will be a draw because the start of this match was really, really weird. And you were right.
That was a weird match.
It
That
became
was
like an awesome never stop Ishii versus Gabe Kidd.
yeah.
By the way, isn't it weird that Gabe
Very
Kidd has
good.
the fucking strong title and he's Curtin the Jerkin? But it was a very Western way of booking a show, like putting a champion on first and all
But-
that kind of stuff.
But the match was long. You know,
Yeah.
we're watching it and we're
30
like,
minutes.
something ain't right here. And the way they were just standing around at the beginning, and like the crowd also didn't cheer at the right times. Man, fuck American crowds. Like we were talking about it, and you agreed with me, and you said yes, also fuck American crowds. You said fuck all crowds except for Japanese crowds, because man, I like the way they cheer.
Yeah, that's the other reason I love New Japan. It's I love the pageantry of it. I love the wrestling, and I love the wrestlers in it and all that kind of shit. But part of it is the vibe of the crowd and stuff. I know we didn't get that with COVID when we fucking started watching New Japan. When we started doing the Never Open podcast, like it's during COVID era. But got to do something when you can't go outside, right? Might as well talk about the wrestling with someone. So it's a crowd because they're smart enough to be like, oh, this is wrestling and it's just a story, we'll go along with it. But they're also like, no, that we don't like that. Mm-hmm. Like there's an honesty to it. Because you'll see it with Shooter Umino. Like we like him. I know I ragged him a bit lately, but he's great. But man, they aren't ready for him. They aren't ready to accept him in a way that they're ready to accept, say, Ryo Iwa, or maybe not Iwa, but maybe Yota Tsuji, someone who's a little bit more
Tsuji is
higher up.
Bands,
yeah, right.
He's Naito's friend.
Not only that, but they want Tsuji. Like my wife, Charity doesn't come in the room for too many matches or stick around much, but if Yota Tsuji's on and Ishimori, it used to be just Ishimori for a while. Now it's Ishimori and Yota Tsuji. So they're two favorites. So but everyone's ready for him. Like it felt because he had a few major losses when he came back and everything like that, and everyone was just like, we want to cheer him now. Can you?
He lost
wins, please.
He lost the Sonata. Remember that?
Yeah. So but there's that honesty. Like I feel like a lot of the crowd now. All right, some of them are sick of the House of Torture stick, but they've caught on pretty well. They get pretty good spots. They get amazing crowd reactions. But why? Because I feel like the crowd's in on it. House of Torture aren't just there to piss you off. They also want to make you laugh. And they do that either by cartoonishly doing a chain stretch and incorporating the crowd in it, like they did at Valley Battle. All right, that was the point. I was like, all right, the American crowd in this show isn't so bad after all. Because
so that match had Semi Sakura in it, and she was retiring, and she chose to tag with House of Torture. So you'd show an evil in her, but she's a babyface, right? Yep. So you have House of Torture tagging with a babyface, and it was done really well. That was fantastic. They milked it a little much at the end. It was like, okay, we get it. We really understand this woman is given a lot to wrestling. We appreciate it, but they just kept going.
We're ready for the next match now. Like wrap
getting
it up.
A little much. So it's but man, that was great. If you're gonna watch anything from Valley Battles, that's what you want to watch, right?
But yeah, like you can laugh at their cartoonish antics, and then you fucking cheer them on when they're getting ass kicked and they're bumping like maniacs, and then you can boo them and stuff. So, like, I feel like if it gets too much, then the crowd starts booing and all that. That's not how you show you don't like something in Japan. You do it by this.
Yeah, which is really
silence.
That's the way you should show your disappreciation in wrestling at any point, as if you make no sound. That means you don't give a fuck.
And it's not completely silent for Shooter Umino, but there's a mutedness to the boos. Let's just say maybe sometimes
it's just boo. It's not boo. House of Torture getting those boos. Shooter Umino getting the boo.
Yeah. House of Torture are getting those like I fucking love to hate these guys, fucking boo kind of boos, and that's why I fucking think they're amazing. But so it's not like the crowd's not willing to roll with things that aren't like strong style, like the Next Generation, all that kind of stuff. They are. It's just like they want to feel like they've accepted it or they've chosen it, rather than New Japan going, yeah, of course, Red Shoes' son, yeah, he's the next top guy, of course he is. Come on.
Yeah, you got a problem there a little bit.
Yeah.
But, here we are.
Wrestling's full of that, though. Wrestling's full of, hey, I know a guy, I know a guy, I know a guy, I know a guy, I know a guy.
All of it is. Yes,
come on.
Absolutely. Come on now.
Of course it is. It's like not even family nepotism, just like I know a guy. Like, yeah.
You watched AEW and Takeshita came out without the Never title on. Is that correct?
Yeah. So, like, I think Kenny won a match against Brian Cage. He's with Don Cal. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. I knew Cage was losing, but you know, at some point I was just like, well, do you want to see these two wrestle or not? And I was like, well, yeah. So I had enjoyed myself. It was a good match.
But man, that's like a PWG match from 2000 10 or
Well,
something like that.
you
2012.
know, I don't have easy access to PWG. I don't watch enough wrestling. Thank you. So no. What was this? What did I watch?
You watched AEW, and I was asking
Yeah.
about Takeshita coming out
So
without
yeah,
the title.
like there's a big beatdown with Don Callis' guys, and then lastly Takeshita comes out because he's like pretty much the guy
Alpha
in the group. He's the alpha of the group, right? And holds up his title and stuff in Kenny's face and looks all tough and shit. But it's the international title he has, and I don't see anywhere on his person the never open title.
Okay.
And suddenly, he goes from an 11 on my love list down to about a 7 now because of that. Yeah,
that's disappointing. So I guess New Japan storylines are conflicting now with the AEW storylines, which is the problem that you run into when you do something like have a guy in both promotions that can do whatever he wants or something. So this will be interesting to see what happens,
Yeah, it is interesting. And right now, if Takeshi is just going to keep on putting match after match after match like that, and sometimes against people he's in the ring with for the first time ever, then yeah, he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
First time ever. That's my favorite indie wrestling storyline. First time ever. I'm
just getting that flashback from Buster Scruggs where Franco looks at the guy getting hanged. He's like, first time?
That's a really good movie, by the way.
I fucking love it. My favorite's the Tom Waits one, man, with the digging for the thing, gold and stuff. And he finally finds gold and he gets shot.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I need to see it again because I liked all of them. There's one where people are waiting. The one where people are waiting to be executed. That is fucking. Oh my god, that was a brutal one.
Yeah,
but it's a great movie. But yeah, I just whenever I see best or like first time ever, like I just hear the Booker's voice and going, patting himself on the back. I thought of this. That's what he's saying. So
I made this possible. Me. With my fantasy dream book.
That's right. He had his own, and I mean, we all have them,
I mean, if it was Booker though, is it a fantasy dream book or is it just like
fantasy real? Yeah, it's just the book. It's just the book at that point, and I want it at all times. So, Luke,
don't give it to me. Don't give it to me. You know what's going to happen.
Everyone's going to win. So.
Everyone gets to win, except for Yo and Yujiro.
Yeah, that's true.
Perpetual
jobbers. I do want to remind you of a movie as we wrap things up here on Never Round 34. Is that there's a movie out there we haven't talked about in a long time, but it'd be kind of fun to talk about in the future because we only watched it once. Psycho Gorman.
Oh fuck! I love that movie. I got it on Blu-ray somewhere. I'm in the garage, not in the house. Yeah, dude, I absolutely love that movie. I love all the movies that they make as well. The editor is fantastic. Especially if you've seen Italian horror movies, because it just takes the piss out of all of them. And then there's another one called Father's Day about a serial killer who kills fathers. But that doesn't just mean dads. It also means priests and stuff too. So any kind of fathers. And like it was the start of that movie is way too gross for Charity. And I look at her and I'm like, oh, this ain't going well. But then we gave it another 5 minutes and we kind of got into that zone and we were like, all right. But and then Psycho Gorman is just like, what if Power Rangers was gory and fucked up and funny? And
what if an intergalactic, conqueror, Julius Caesar of the fucking
what if
universe?
Thanos?
What if he showed up? Was unfortunately trapped and controlled by a teenage girl, the most evil creature and self-centered creature on the earth.
Fucking Mimi. I got a t-shirt I got a t-shirt that has Mimi holding up the amulet and it says
really okay.
Yeah, I'll wear it on our Psycho Gorman thing. So yeah, I love. I can't remember what their studio name is. Someone's yelling at us right now, and writing us a sternly worded letter in quill.
Never Open Podcast at gmail.com. But you have to take a picture of the quill drawing that you did and then send it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's right. Otherwise we're not, because we're not giving you our addresses. Sorry, guys.
No.
But yeah.
That is, yeah. Psycho Gorman. We should watch
Yeah,
it and talk
I love
about it. It's been a while. I think it's time to watch it again. That's all I was saying. So
I like how you think. That could be another Never Realmy thing. And I would have watched more Spartacus by then too.
NetherRealm 34. 5.
That'll be 35. So this one is 34. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. That's what people love here. Yeah.
Should I put the song I wrote at the beginning as the intro music? Should I do that?
Yeah. I'd be disappointed if you
We
didn't.
can do that. We can do that. You know.
Cool. And I guess we just ended here. No?